Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Hey everybody! Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise Morning Coffee in the Shell, all that jazz. Episode
Good morning.
Good morning, handsome feller. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Ooh. Guess what's happening today, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look. If you're excited to watch Final Fantasy on Arena, make sure to check out HILLBILLY. It's later today at 12 p.m.
Yep, right after the show here.
Right after the show. He's gonna go nuts, ballistic, insane. He's gonna try to open like hundreds of packs, get the full set, and play a lot of cards.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Check it out. But we also got some news today. So today there's been some bright news on this Wednesday, like some great news. It deals with a certain person that we all know, that we all love. The people in our lives have finally reached a goal of, what's this?
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Indeed, indeed. We had a great party last night. There was lots of people in there coming in to say howdy and things. And you know what? Somebody even came in within about 5 minutes and dropped a whole 3-month subs.
Nice. 3 months subs. That's
great. You left out the fact that somebody you had another subber as well. Who was your first subber?
I was wondering how long it would take him to do that. But I did have...
I got first!
They very patiently waited for that go live button, so that as soon as that go live button was hit, they were like, smack! There we go. It's there.
I got
as soon
first.
as your stream starts, I will get this in.
I'm better than any other subber that ever existed because I got first!
First! Nice. Ooh, that's awesome. Congratulations, Hillary, on becoming an affiliate on Twitch.
That's much appreciated. A lot of help from everyone out there.
Just to let you know, there are medications to fix that twitch. You know, when you jolt your head around.
I'm trying that, but I just keep twitching so much. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. I'm Twitch now.
Roll with it. That's right. Well, we're so happy for you that you reached affiliate on Twitch. Let's hope your YouTube channel grows too, so you can get affiliated on YouTube, even though they don't call it affiliated, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. It's going to take that a little bit longer on YouTube because of that little higher level of people needed.
Yep.
But, you know, it's a first step, and then we just keep plodding along.
First step, indeed. But then, I actually have a picture of the day. I actually made this yesterday. Forgot to show it yesterday, but I want to show it today because it deals with the work word, the W word. You know. Here we go. They say, do your job with a smile on your face. The job.
You know, just because you change the amount of letters in it doesn't make it a bad word. It's still a bannable offense in my world.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I
And
like the
later,
picture.
oh yeah, dude, that was I did an emoji in a mech suit, and that's what I got. Then later
Hey, can you guys hear
today,
me?
if I got time, I'm going to do a deck upgrade for Kalia. It might be later. That's a little shill for myself there. I want to upgrade my deck with some cards I got from Kane Chicker James Willis. Then on time, if I don't get to do this, but I will still definitely play some Jurassic World Evolution today on Wednesday Arcade. Whoop whoop.
Cool.
Pretty cool. Hey, what's up? We got Draven. What's up?
Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. And trust me,
Draven.
you'll find. Well, hey, hold on a second. I got to think. We are currently experiencing issues with the swapping of streams. This feature has been temporarily disabled. We apologize for that. Okay, all right.
So yeah, so long story short, I had to go through the steps. Like always wondered how people like did the podcasting, and when MTG Hillbilly told me about StreamYard, I'm like, okay. So I had to look into it, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's steps.
Yep.
It's steps, and trust me, this show is very easy to get into. This show is very easy to get comfortable, relax. Today is a chat and chill question kind of day. It's a perfect day to get your feet wet, get your feathers ruffled, and figure out what it's kind of about. Because most days kind of chat and chill with a topic, but Wednesdays and Fridays are chat and chill. If people ask questions, people ask questions all the time. I just designated this day for it.
Yeah, so I also dressed up for the occasion too. So
Nice.
wanted to, get the low cut V-neck on and start this chat. Yeah. So for what I was saying, yeah. So last year I actually not that it's I don't know if it's relevant to the viewers, but I did battle a little bit of anxiety. So I meeting people was like kind of difficult last year. And but I've actually been overcoming it. So it's been a little better.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just so so that way you guys know, it's if I seem a little nervous, it's like
You're good. You are good. Trust me. You like a lot of people here, like KJ, Hillbilly, Hellwheeler. They all started on the show with certain I want to say inadequacies, but the term is with less experience is what I mean.
Yeah.
Is like with talking and stuff. And even I started the show with the low ability of talking to people. And the more you get used to it, the more you get into it, the better of a talker, thinker you become, the more creative you get with your own projects, the more inspirational it gets to your daily content creation.
Yeah.
But anyways, first of all, make sure you say something in chat, say something in chat, and so I can respond to it. Because there's things we got to do.
Yep.
Yeah, hold
In
on.
the chat box.
Chat box. Yeah, and if you linked up your YouTube account, you should be able to chat straight from here.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I'm new to this, so I could just. You want me to say anything?
Yeah, you can write. You can type anything, like the word anything. I don't care what you type.
Okay.
One of the most favorite things that people like to type in here is Cowboy Dan's jar is really shiny. Sorry. What?
Dude,
I
that
thought
joke-
you
that
loved
joke-
doing salt.
that joke I sent Hillbilly was golden. I don't know if Hillbilly laughed or not, but oh my lord, it was hilarious. And I'm gonna roll with it. And I'm like, you don't know how hard it is that I'm not saying it right now.
What joke?
I sent it to you on your phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was looking on Discord.
No. It was funny because if you watch SNL, you'd get the joke. At least if you used to back when it was good. Let's
What,
say hello to
1976?
No, 1976. Well, this was when Lonely Island was a thing. Let's say hello to chat. We got Cane Shaker. He says, "Well, it's about dang time."
Wow.
About dang time. Yes, Cane Shaker. James Willis. It's about dang time. That's right. And did you see, Cane Shaker? I uploaded an MTG3 video. I changed the format completely and did something different. And Meta Monk crossing the universes to be here. He's a multiversal traveler, Meta Monk. We always bring this up, and when we see him in chat, he travels from one multiverse to the other just to visit our show for a few minutes before he has to go to work.
Yep.
Yep. Then we got Lone Wolf.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. And look, everybody's going crazy. We even got Lulu. I still need a backstory for Lulu. I'm trying to think of one. It's like sometimes like the Xena Warrior Princess call comes to my brain like, and I'm like, what is it?
Yep.
Nice.
They also got magic cards named Lulu.
I know they got Lul. That's like three-fourths of Lulu.
I got one named Lulu.
Nice.
Lulu and had some other name with it. I even got it in the Discord.
So super fast, awesome video. Last night on your upload with how many board wipes should be in a deck.
Oh, thank you.
So as a control player, as I was telling you last night, I agree with what you were saying. Normally I run like maybe 8 to 9. So
that's a good number.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
really disagree, but that's a great number.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that would probably say maybe less, maybe more. It depends. I feel like if you run a lot more than what you were talking about, it would make the deck a little clunky.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You
right.
Like I always say, like you need that land to non-land ratio to kind of really. That's something that I just kind of came up with. I don't even know if it's relevant. No,
it is. Like like in my commander decks, I've learned that it's best to have like I used to put 36 lands in my deck, and then sometimes I'd struggle with land drops and stuff. Now I do 38 lands on average to 38 lands because the land to non-land ratio is important in your deck for drawing. Because I learned with 38 lands in a commander deck, your ramp and mana fixing slots can drop down a little, so you don't have to put so much focus in your deck and save spots for like removal and whatnot. So you're right.
Truthfully, I've never had to run like that many lands except for Pioneer format Yorion. I'm running like 33 lands right now, and because I thought the 30, I think it was 36 lands the deck list that I looked up. I thought it was like a lot.
right.
So I kind of like sometimes I chisel it down. Sometimes I'll add another land, like in Eldrazi Tron. Right now, lands are being played at 17 copies.
Right.
I added like an 18th land, so to kind of even things out. I guess it depends on your preference and what you like and what you feel works the best for you.
Yeah, and that's truly how it works. Like it's the best for you. What you feel is more comfortable. Yes, Rule 0 is a discussion. I didn't mention that, but like like people seem to forget that land destruction is not banned in Commander. It's just like that rule that people just say no, let's not do it very much. But then I played against like people who play like EDH, and land destruction is fine in their decks, and like I played against them and and sometimes people are nice about it. They're like, I'll play this, but trust me, I'm only going to do it once. And they do it once, and that's it, because they know how salty people can be. So that Rule 0 discussion is really important to have. But board wipes, they're not even on the game changers list. Not even farewell, even though they talked about putting it on the list.
Yeah. So, but you guys remember when you were speaking of land destruction, that actually reminded me of something. If you guys remember Mono Black Pox.
Oh yeah, that got very popular during Time Spiral Block.
I never had mono black pox. I never even had chicken pox, but I was vaccinated for shingles.
No, Mono Black Pox was very creative and just very like, I'm gonna blow up your lands and steal from your hand. So so you can't get it like any better than that. I think that was a very great deck.
Yeah, because Pox costs 2 black and it destroys a land, discards a card, and I think pings 2 life. I could be wrong on that last part. Or pings a life. It was a nuisance in standard when it came out. One of the top decks.
Yeah, and we're talking about the actual card Pox, not small Pox.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Stop in
Pox,
and say hello.
but small Pox is great too.
Mm-hmm.
It was. And, you know, I really appreciate what smallpox did for the world. Good times. Good times. Almost as good as back when we had the black fever.
Kane Checker says to you, Dre, you will quickly learn that people here in chat are a bunch of crazy people, especially that James Willis guy. That's right, James Willis. He's referring to himself.
Well, I appreciate that. Great group of people. Group of people.
Then we got Lulu is talking about her deck on Duel Links. Says 12-0 win in Duel Links event. Holy cow!
Nice.
That is pretty cool.
12-0. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice, Lulu.
Yeah, this is die roll, coins rolls, all that fun stuff. Lone Wolf says, "Have an awesome stream, everyone. Hopefully, I can catch a final early access Final Fantasy stream later. Thanks for stopping by." Woo-woo.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I do not have the early access. I was actually asking MTG Hillbilly if that's like because you mentioned it's a VIP thing.
Yeah, it's you gotta get permission from Wizards to do it. They send you. Then after they send you invites, you first you email them for an invite. Then they'll send you an invite. Sometimes it takes forever for them to do it because they get busy.
Yeah,
right.
And then after you get the invites, they'll send you 2 emails. One for you to join a private Discord, and then one for the login information to play with the new cards.
Okay, thank you for letting me know that info. I'll have to take that up in the future because I was like, wait, how do you guys get early access? Because as I was telling you, I know some pros that have early access who do stream, and I'm like, wait, so well, obviously you guys know I'm not new to the game, but like, some of these other features are, I'm working, I'm working on. So.
All right, Kane Chick says, on your land count per deck, is that basics or are you also using non-basics in the count? I'm using all lands in that count, non-basics and basics. And
yeah, let's make them.
TC dude like to say his girlfriend reassures him he has a big pox.
Oh,
you might want to go to the doctor and get that checked out.
Yeah, sounds horrendous.
Yeah, that's right.
I apologize.
All right. So yeah, are you able to type in chat? So I haven't seen you type in chat yet. Unless I'm missing something.
I think you put it in the private chat, Jevon. You want it in the comments sections, the next tab along, which is the public one that goes onto YouTube.
Just want to point out that on the Twitch side of things, we had a visit from Dr. Dirty Red.
Dr. Dirty Red.
He said he's stopping by to say hello this morning.
All right, Dr. Dirty Red. That logo. I remember creating that logo. AI and everything. Yeah. So many things going on. So, Dre, why like last night we were talking about some of your history with pro events. Why don't you tell us about that? That's very interesting stuff. I know someone in chat would love to actually hear a little bit about that.
Yeah.
That'd be Kane Shaker.
So starting in 2010, I got into, because I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I got into, and I was getting tired of it. It was more financial stuff. And I was just like, well, what is a game that I could play that is like financially like doable? So I remember one day, and I'll have to tell you the quick story about when I told you about my first trading card in the game, which was Mind Funeral. So I was standing in a place called Toy Wiz in New York, and I'm still a customer there. Shout out to them. And, because they've been very great with everything. And I was just standing there and I'm like looking at this card called Mind Funeral. And I noticed that it milled, your opponent. And I'm like, wow. I was like, this mill is better than Yu-Gi-Oh mill. So I'm looking at this card and I'm like, wow, beautiful artwork, everything. So I decided to take a look at it and I bought it. It was marked it was hollow foil for $5. So I'm like, okay, I was like, so you know what? I bought it and I was very happy with it. I just kept looking at it and I'm looking at it like this and I'm looking at it like this. I'm like, wow, great card, So I just, so then I started buying more. I started looking up, random deck lists online that summer. Yes, there we go. There we have it.
Mhm.
So very just, even the flavor text, you guys, the flavor text right there just says everything. It's, really, really cool. So I started to collect more and more over the next 5 years until my first in-store tournament, which I did in summer of 2015. And long and behold, I got wiped. Being a new player, getting into the game, I've told some of my viewers on, YouTube and stuff, like my one moderator who I'm coaching, don't expect to go into the game winning at first, because no matter how you think the outcome is going to be, you're going to lose.
Who goes into a game never having played the game, assuming they're going to win? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I meet these people all the time. I could do that.
I think that
Probably
person's
not.
living in a slightly delusional world.
Probably not, but I do enjoy laughing at those people when they go in and fail miserably.
I mean, you can always live in hope that you'll win on your first try, but the chances are it's very unlikely. And if you did, you had an awful lot of luck behind you.
I agree. You guys just don't know me very well. Jeez, I go into any game my wife brings to the table, and like I might not, I've never played the game before, and I'd be like, I'm gonna win because I'm gonna think of think this game is magic, and I'm gonna find everything magic about this that's like Magic the Gathering, and I'm gonna try to abuse every system on the way to get the best advantage, like card advantage or resource advantage, and I'm gonna try to play everything. And I still lose, but I go in with that winning thought process all the time. But
you should go in with the winning thought process. I'm just saying that I just find it funny, these people who go in and pick up a game the very first time and assume they're going to win because they go into a game that they've never played before. And unless you're one of those guys who sits down for 2 hours and reads the instruction book that comes with the game, that's 3 pages of pictures and no words, I really doubt that you are going to win a game the first time you pick it up, unless you're playing somebody else who's never played the game. If that's the case, then you have me. But
right. KJ says he has names for those kind of people, KJ, but he's not allowed to say it here. This is a family stream.
That's right.
Guys, so the story gets better. So as I was saying, it's I finally, so it's 2015, and in the store they also had a leadership board. And as you guys, for people who know the game and play the game, and yes, I have met him in person. I do know him. So shout out to him, pro player Reed Duke. I've played with him a couple times in person, in store. And because, guys, we're from, New York, New Jersey, as you guys know. And,
fellow New Yorker, right on. I'm from upstate.
Yeah, so it was a pleasure to actually get to know him. We've done pre-releases. It was mainly the pre-release tournaments was where we were in, where I had met him up at Toy Was in Nanuet, New York. And, great player, great person to play with. So before I even met him, I actually went on YouTube and looked up the name, and I saw the videos, and his, so the one thing about him is I have to say that he's very humble, very generous, great guy, really great person to meet. And I even told him in person during a pre-release, I was like, Reed, you're my favorite pro. And he thanked me. And I, was very inspired by his videos to become better and do better. And although I'm not at the stage where I want to be in the game, probably due to, most likely it's definitely, not most likely, it's definitely, like the job market and stuff like that. Like I am in job coaching. I do have a job coach because things have gotten a little difficult. But aside from that, back to what I was saying, it's, it was actually really good to actually meet someone who has a passion for the game, a passion for his fans. I like that. I think that's very, well, when I think of the word for it, it's like early in the morning for me. but you know, I was very inspired, and you know, I even said to him, hey, you know, your videos, you know, they're awesome. And he was like, I hope that they helped you. And I was like, yeah, of course, they definitely did. So, you know, my one moderator on YouTube who I am coaching, you know, I referred her to those videos because they're not just exciting. I mean, they're very exciting. Don't get me wrong. But they're educational. And like you guys are saying, you know, anyone who, you know, jumps into the game expecting to win, well, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of unrealistic because there's really no chance of, you know, I mean, like I said, unless you're really like that good of a, you know, of a player, or if you're a card shark, or, you know, you're pulling something out of the hat.
Okay, pulling something out of the hat typically is revolving around somebody who's cheating. Secondly, either you're an idiot or you're an idiot savant, and most people who bounce into a game are not idiot savants. I'm going to be honest with you. And by the way, I do apologize. I do tend to be a little gruff with my statements.
That's okay.
I also suffer from panic attacks and anxiety, and the only way I get around it is by being worse than my panic attacks.
That's a good way to actually look at it.
All right. So like if I seem a little rough or gruff or whatever when I respond to you, I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be whatever, but I do say things that I absolutely feel and believe. And I believe that there's two types. There's idiots and there's idiot savants. And if you're going into a game, you're either an idiot or you're an idiot savant your very first time. And if you're an idiot, you think you're going to win. If you're an idiot savant, you just do. Secondly, when with the thought process of hat tricks and whatnot, only people who've been in the game for a while and know the game and know their way around each and every card can pull a successful hat trick in most case scenarios. Otherwise, there's talk about dumb luck or cheating.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about hat tricks about any game. You used to play Yu-Gi-Oh just as much as I did. I'm pretty sure because I was a Yu-Gi-Oh boy, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, and then they changed the game on me and I was really upset. I said, screw this. I'm not doing freaking algebra. And I dropped Yu-Gi-Oh in a heartbeat. Went back to Pokemon.
Really quick, I want to say later, Tibalt, thanks for stopping by in the stream. You rock.
See you, Tibalt.
Yeah, and like last night in my video, and I don't mean to shield myself, but the video I uploaded, I even talked about like, well, the point of Magic is like deck control, and you run certain cards to control the draws in your deck because you don't have control on what you draw, but you try to get better draws, and that's why tutors are a thing, and tutors and Commander are huge because it helps you control what you need or what you want at the time you play it. You know. So yes, hat tricks is kind of a weird term to say, which I understand. But it's all about controlling your deck, and that's what pro players get down well. Is they learn the right number of cards to play, the right number of things, so their draws are more optimal. You know. Yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not fond, with anyone, when it comes to cheating. I mean. When it comes to cheating and hat tricks, it rips the game and the fun from other people. So you have to also think about other people and take into consideration, well, what am I doing? I mean, because it just sucks the fun out of it, and I've heard of, people, I'm not going to mention names, but I've heard of people even that I know of that have, pulled that in tournaments and then they got banned. And it's like, why even go through the trouble of like having to deal with that? If you're going to get, because eventually you will get caught.
There, a famous old West poker player who never got killed from cheating at cards had once made the statement, and a lot of people quote it to this day: if you don't get caught, you don't get shot.
That's right.
And a lot of people look at this, if you don't get caught, you don't get shot mentality in regular everyday life. I'll tell you what, how many people do you know who are going down the highway? There's traffic. No, I'm just going to pull over to the shoulder of the road and drive down the gravel part of the shoulder until we get past everybody. And hopefully there's no cops up at the front to pull you over. If you don't get caught, you don't get shot. That's been a very famous thing in poker that's been going on since the Old West. And there are only 2 poker players, the winner and the guy who gets shot for cheating.
You wouldn't believe in part of New York where I used to go to a gym. How many people?
Are you from the city?
No, no, it's not upstate. It's New York State. I'm on the border of.
You're upstate of New York, though. Upstate New York. Everything. The city people say everything upstate of New York. And then there's upstate New York, which is like legitimately northern New York. But anything upstate. So how far up north of New York City were you?
Well, I'm on the border.
I was Walden, Orange County area.
Orange County. Okay, so that's not far. Do you know Rockland County, New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey. I'm actually on the border.
Jersey.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really but I can't even begin to tell you, in Rockland how many times I've seen people go on the throughway, go off the off ramp.
Right.
And because, and into the shoulder. And I've seen people actually get caught by a cop. So it was actually funny when you mentioned that. I had to make that as a relevant statement that, yes, I've seen people do that. I've seen people get caught and not get caught. So
right. Well, that's how the cheating community is. You see it all the time with that community. Particularly, there are people in the community that not just I'm not talking Magic the Gathering. I'm talking about all of the gaming community, anywhere that anybody can see a corner that they can cut. There are people who go about finding ways to cheat everything, down to there are people who on a daily basis spend $50 a week to cheat their YouTube pages. There are people who do like a whole lot of things in the cheating community that you get this mentality that says, if I don't get caught, it's not bad. And you see it all the time in the gaming industry, particularly. I can't tell you how many times that I turned on the news and another YouTuber who is supposed to be a speedrunner was caught using some sort of whatchamacallit.
Yes. Like remember, not just the YouTuber, but the Donkey Kong guy who was caught cheating.
But he was caught cheating with a modded system that was both had possibly 2 problems with it. One, it was an old unit that was repaired and had a 8-directional joystick, which Donkey Kong only had a 4-directional joystick. That was the first sign.
But
then there's suspicion and also allegedness, no proof that he was running a modded system with a fake version of the game. There's no proof to that part, though. But anybody who says that he was running a fake version of the game, they couldn't prove that. The only thing they were able to prove was the joystick.
TCU says, I thought our guest accent sounded pastrami sandwich. Okay.
Pastrami.
Pastrami.
Right. On rye, made at a true Jewish deli with a little bit of pumpernickel on the bread.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Jigger says, let me know those cheaters are I will the mighty king. That's right.
But it is you're right. It is a big problem in the industry. And as Tortoise had wisely pointed out, highly modded video game systems can get away with a lot, and a lot of people do.
Right. And but the difference between most video game cheaters to Magic cheaters is a lot of Magic people who cheat Magic get blasted out a lot on YouTube, where video game cheaters it kind of goes under the rug a little, unless you're really huge and known to be the most professional dude in the world for playing Donkey Kong, because they made a whole documentary about that.
It all depends on how you get back up. A lot of people can get back up after cheating and getting caught cheating. It's like, oh well, it was just a game, I mean, look at Sniper Wolf, female gamer streamer who was, she got caught cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Then she changed. Then she got caught cheating. Her boyfriend was playing the games. While she was sitting in front of the camera pretending she was playing the games. her boyfriend, now soon to be ex-husband, by the way. And then she went off onto cheating YouTube in different ways. She started ripping off people freebooting their YouTube videos. I mean, this girl's been cheating left and right on YouTube, and it's built her career. She's known as a cheater, and her following is okay with it.
Because I remember seeing her, I think I was on Instagram or something, just scrolling through it, and I remember her as a gamer. And
she was.
But back to what I was going to say, it just, where is the whole thing, because like with people cheating, I mean, we know that it takes the fun out of it. It doesn't, I feel like it shows like a lack of like, talent or skill, if that's fair.
Absolutely. Or it all depends on how you look at it. That's one of those eyes of the beholder. Like I said, Sniper Wolf, she's still famous after YouTube famous, mind you. She's still YouTube famous after having been caught cheating several times after all this, and her following's okay with it. Billy the Kid was constantly cheating at card games.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
All right, I want to address this comment because I feel this comment here. And hello, Ryan Nowicki. I hope I said that right.
So, Brian,
on Spell Table, a lot of people treat Virtual Table Moxfield like cheaters, or that it uses it inherently suspect. Though, as we have all seen, physical cards can cheat as well. Yes, like there's been a couple people that we played on Spell Table with the virtual things like Moxfield, where one person was caught cheating horrendously, and there's another guy who played on paper, the way his camera stuff was set up and his perfect what do you call it? What's the word when you sync cards in a row? Sequencing. His sequencing was too perfect to be a regular game of Magic, and we caught them on the carpet cheating. Yeah.
Yep.
Kane Checker says, I saw that documentary. Painted English is awesome. Yeah, I get it. He's talking about Pixels. The movie Pixels. I know because my wife loved that movie for a while.
It was a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, there's just like reason.
I mean, I always say if you're going to do something, do it the legit way. If you want to get good at something, be honest at it, Oh,
yeah, you got to be honest at it. Like there's no true growth if you try to cut the corners, right? If you try to cut the corners at any job, you're not going to really grow in that job.
And especially in this game, Magic the Gathering, you can't cut corners, especially if you want to be pro. There are no corners to cut. You have to, I mean, I'll be honest, you guys, like I've sat down at the table, I've practiced, and I'll tell you what, I spent one night last summer with breaks in between 13 hours at my dining room table, slamming cards all day and night.
Yeah, and I used to do that when I was young, hitting up the F&M circuit of our world, because like where I lived, we had like 4 game shots. Yeah. And throughout the week, we go to different tournaments and events like F&M, the Commander Night, Draft Night, and we would always play and go around these different stores on the nights they do things, and we did a lot of hours. But one thing I want to point out though, if you're a new player to Magic, try to find a group that's willing to get to your level. Right? Yeah. If you're a new player, find people who are in your level, or find people who will go down to your level, because it's not easy for someone brand new to net deck a deck that's like top tier and figure that out, right? You can get a top tier deck and play it and learn it. You can do that, but like you really don't want to skip the process of learning why drawing is important or what kind of removal to run is important.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
And so you want to get to that point where you understand the game very well. Like being a content creator in Magic, like I've seen a lot of people fail who just started creating content for Magic, who didn't have that backbone experience. It's just was taking the words of other people and making their own video content ideas on it. Tibalt, I only cheat with SFT because he blew up my land. That's funny. One time I had a Johnny, the red white Johnny out, and I had him ultimate level, and I said I never blow up people's lands with this guy, so I won't do it. And he's like, no.
Oh, Johnny Vengeance?
Yeah, Johnny Vengeance. He's like, you should
Yeah.
do it. You should do it. You should do it. So because he coaxed me into it, I blew up all his land.
Dude, that card is so 2015. I still love it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Back in the day when they gave you mythics as pre-release promos.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, like we can all agree, you know, cutting corners, cheating, no matter whatever it is you look at it, it's not feasible. I mean, you know, if you want to, you know, succeed at something, you know, do it the legit way. I mean, you got to put in the hard work.
But hard work doesn't pay as much. You spend out. I've actually talked to a cheater about this kind of thing. You put in hours worth of time. You put in bank after money, bank after bank, dollar after dollar. You know, after hours worth of hours, and by that point in time, you've already. For some people, what would be a great collection, a great hobby, has now become more of a time investment. And if I can go in and I can have myself a stacked deck. Now, this is how a cheater thinks. It's not how I think, because I don't condone cheating, and I actually shun it quite often in our community. I actually ridiculed somebody recently for doing it, and they tried to cancel me for it. So I'll tell you what. When it comes down to it, for cheaters, that is their game. Their game is not Magic the Gathering. Their game is not whatever game you're playing that they're cheating against you on. Their game is the cheating. And whether or not you get caught. It's those people who don't believe they're going to get caught by the cops when they make an illegal pass or when they do something. Yeah. Those are the same people who are going, well, you know, I'm late for work. I can run this red light. I don't see a police officer. No cop, no law break. You hear a lot of people say that all the time. The same thing. Oh, well, there's no judges here. What are you going to say? I'm going to say rule zero. Right. Rule zero is the perfect excuse for cheaters. And you hear it all the time. Oh, well, rule zero.
Yeah, Kane Checker says, good veteran players are those that will build up new players and to increase the number of good players. And that's very true. Like in Magic, like people who, like, for example, me personally, being new to an area, like I was new to a store, but the store was new, the players were new. One time where everybody's new, I would build up decks. I'd build my decks, obviously, and play good decks, and people would have struggle. This is during the time I played Standard, and I'd go through my trade binder, flip out some cards while looking at their decks, and be like, you know, this will increase your deck. And I'd give these cards away for free to these people and be like, let's get your deck increased, because, you know, I might be the best player at the table at the moment, but I'm not going to get better if my opponents are weaker, you know? So if I make my opponents better, I get better in the end, you know? So if I make them better strategists, I become better at playing Magic.
And to comment, I have to say, you know, I'd rather be an honest champion than a dishonest cheater. I got to call it how it is. So
yeah. I mean, you get your Magic pro players. Some of them cheat, some of them don't, but the ones that do cheat always end up getting caught and blasted on YouTube.
Well, the ones that get caught.
Right.
Now, the problem is cheaters are like cockroaches. Where you see one, you don't see a million others.
Right. Well, yeah, but at the same time, you know, it depends on where you are, who you're with, and what the stakes are, right? And trust me, people go to Pro Tour knowing there's going to be someone cheating. I don't think it matters what the stakes are, really. I mean, if you're cheating, you're cheating. It
shouldn't matter what the stakes are. And I think that's a horrible thought process if you make an exception because of stakes.
Well, there's not.
Well, you just said that. You just said
there's no exception, but what the thing is when it comes to like prizes, like good prizes, people expect that to be there, and so they plan accordingly to try to catch these people. Because
they plan accordingly to catch them, but the way you phrased it said that well, you know, there's an exception. That's the way you phrased it.
You know what I mean? Ryan here says, I usually assume ignorance before malice, as games typical derail due to salt and suspicion first. Still, the person's attitude is usually more of a tell and casual play, assuming no smoking gun. Right.
Yep.
Yes, I agree with that, but I never assume ignorance before malice. I think that if it's ignorance, you will voluntarily step away from it.
Right.
If and then you know it's ignorance. But well, I still won. It doesn't matter, you know. Then you still cheated, even if you didn't intentionally cheat.
Right. Well, see, in
You
competitive
still
player from experience, like as competitive, like in one tournament I went to, even the players are going to call everything out. Like if they
Yep.
suspect something cheating, they're going to call it out. You
Of
know,
course, they should.
yeah,
That is your
right,
job as a player, as a competitive player.
right.
I'm
'Cause
just saying.
like one time, I made a mistake of actually drawing an extra card, and this is the first time I've been to one of these things. And I took my opponent and says I drew an extra card on accident because instead of 7, I drew 8 and didn't pay attention until I noticed. And before we started the game, and the first thing he did, and I don't blame the guy for doing this, but the first thing he did was call the judge over, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that's probably the best thing he could have done. You know,
It's in the rule, you guys, that you actually you can't make decisions on your own, especially when it comes to Star City. You have to call a judge for like everything because you could get. I don't know if you get penalized for. You might get penalized for making your own decisions.
mm-hmm.
that's what the
And,
judge is for. That's what the judge is for.
Yeah.
You know, I think that like it's a smart decision. If you're playing a game, it doesn't matter if it's accidental or if it's intentional or whatnot. You need, if you're having a game with stakes, and this is a thing that reason why casinos are set up the way they are nowadays, is you have games with stakes, right?
Yeah.
These stakes, it's very important that you don't have somebody defrauding the game, defrauding the system that you're running, and also defrauding the players on top of the people placing the stakes. I mean, look at McDonald's. They defrauded everybody with the monopoly thing, and they keep on being allowed to do it.
right.
You know, and they don't have anybody mandating that. Well, when you don't have somebody mandating what's going on in your gameplay, or your gameplay or your contests or whatever, you don't have some sort of judge, some sort of officiant, then you can guarantee that there is going to be somebody that is going to try to corrupt the system, break the system, and also potentially blatantly cheap. You know, I think that's also another reason why you have a lot of cards being removed from games that we all like and play, and people get upset. You know, it's like, well, this is kind of like a legal cheat. Well, that's why they got rid of these broken cards, and they're taking them out of your thing because it's a legal cheat and they don't want it to be there. You guys coined it yourself. It breaks the game. And a game break is a legal cheat. That's why they get rid of the cards.
Yeah, I also have to comment too. It also comes down to like reputation, you guys. Like, I don't know how somebody could walk around with the rep of being a cheater. I mean, that would, for me, like that would feel like very, like I'd feel very just washed up and stale and just like, like who am I, type deal. Like, it's that type of that consciousness and like that, and I guess that's what separates the people, the non-cheaters from the cheaters,
Right. I believe that it's a that when talking about moral situations, all right, it's where does your moralities lie?
Right.
There are people whose moralities say, you know what, I am the main character. It's about me, and if I want the main character to be a villain, it's going to be a villain, and you can't do anything about it because the main character is me. You guys are just supporting cast in my movie. So if the movie's about a villain, the movie's about a villain. Those people do not have to justify themselves because they see themselves as already justified.
Yeah.
Now, when you sit here and feel bad about having been caught even making a poor move, so he's like, "Ooh, I accidentally pulled 8 cards, and this person's calling a judge over," and you're feeling bad and sitting here humiliated because you made a boo-boo. Now, there's a difference between a boo-boo and cheating, and some people don't want to acknowledge that. But see, the problem is they don't acknowledge that because they don't know that you're being disingenuous or not. When you said, "Oh, it's an accident. Let's start all over again. Let's reshuffle and do it again." You know, those people don't know because they've been cheated before.
Right, and to be honest, the guy would have probably never noticed that I had 8 cards in my hand if I didn't say anything. But I saw it because I didn't want to be that cheater.
See, that is honesty and morality.
Right, and thinking about cheating, we got this.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building the following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
That's right, everybody. Why don't you cheat the system and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers so we can get to that awesome Rafika the Mini deck giveaway, plus more going on. Trying to grow the channel, and now we're in the shill section, and this is the time where you get to shill. So, Dre, you're the new guy. You're the new guy here, right?
Yeah.
What you want to do is I'll blow you up like this, and I do this to everybody.
Yep.
And you're going to talk about your channel, probably talk about your next project or your goal for your channel, and ask people to, hey, come over and subscribe. And while I do this, I put your link in the channel.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. So, guys, it's Dre Games MTG, DRAGAMES MTG. You know, again, thank you guys for having me. So, you know, my goals as a small channel is obviously to build, get to know everyone. It's mainly to get to know everyone because, like I said, I've actually met, if you want to laugh about it, I've met better people on here than I have in my own hometown. You know, and it's, you know, I've been a Magic player, as you guys know, for a long time. It's been like 15 years, and I enjoy the game, and I'm looking to take it to, you know, greater lengths if I can.
Nice. Check it out. His link's in the chat below. Well, I'll eventually make him a command. Tell you what. With that, we're gonna go to the crazy cat lady.
Hey, hey, hey! All right, tonight it's podcast night. So, as usual, KJ and I are going to talk about anything and everything, but this time it's to do with our childhood and the cartoons and other children's shows that we watched when we were younger. So, we're going to have a good chat tonight. Probably inflict you all on some short, you know, clips of those shows that we had to watch ourselves.
Nice.
So
Cringe moments from the 80s and 90s.
I think it's more actually the 80s, because even if I was born in the 90s, I still watched old TV. So I think it's mostly the 80s. So, you know, all that fun. But we might find some more modern shows that we also watched in that mix as well. But you know what? You're just going to have to come along, check it out to find out.
All right, check it out. Check it out. I'm thinking of checking it out. Here's the spicy head in a jar, jalapeno on a stick. Here we got KJ
in a jar. So as Jesse was saying, it is podcast night, procrastinating across the oceans. A little bit more in depth. We're also going to be talking about stop animation. We're going to talk about on top of our favorite shows from when we were kids. We might even cover a little Wallace and Gromit. We're going to cover a little from Thunderbirds to Team America with puppetry and a couple other ways that we enjoyed animation back in the 80s and 90s.
Nice, nice. Let's go, let's go. Now, thinking of shilling the billing, we got Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. This right here is going on today, right after we leave here. I'll be logging into Arena for the early access streamer event. Thank you, Wizards, for allowing me to do this. And I just want to let everybody know that this starts right after the show here. Then I'll be streaming till I drop.
That's right.
And that's all I got for today.
All right. Super Fast Tortoise here, just to remind you, my friends, I gotta mow the lawn, take out trash, and all that fun jazz. But my plan is to try to stream a deck upgrade today. And if I can't do that, you'll definitely see me playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 today. So come check it out. It's gonna have a blast. And hey, with that, we're on a time crunch right now. So hey, everybody, hit that like button, subscribe button, all that stuff. Thank you, channel members. Thank you, subscribers. You make this everything possible. And I want to remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, brighten someone's day, because you might be the change someone needs today. And with that, my friends, let's get to that sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning.